happening, my friends? Welcome to a special episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Look, welcome to your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, it is that time of the year. It is officially New Year's Eve. That's right, my friends. It is New Year's Eve. So, this special edition of the Arrington Gavin Show, I'm just so thrilled to be sharing it with you all, the listeners, the viewers out there. Look, on today's show, we're going to be discussing all big stories and things that occurred in 2024. And then we're gonna, before we end it, we're gonna end it off with a quick toast. You can, if you're driving right now, well, hey, look, just pretend you're toasting. But if you're somewhere sitting down, listening to the platform, or either watching us on the streaming platforms of YouTube or Rumble, look, grab yourself, something to toast with, whether that's an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage. Look, I want to cheers to you because look, we've survived another year, and we're gonna get ready for 2025. But before we do that, because it's still 2024. 2024 hasn't gone yet. Okay, we got within this next hour, man, we're gonna be going back and backtracking some of the biggest stories of 2024, the ones that were like, wow, did that really happen? The ones that had everybody kind of doing the whole back and forth debates with it. Just it's so much stuff has happened in 2024, and so I'm excited to share that with you, all the listeners, viewers out there. And first and foremost, I always have to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule, especially on New Year's Eve, for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. You could be doing so much with your precious time, but instead you are kicking it. Talking with me, talk with your homie, your friend, and I'm excited for that. Without you all, look, this show will be nothing. Again, we are continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow here at the Arrington Gavin Show, and we couldn't do it without you all. So I just again want to thank you all for joining me this evening. Before I move forward, look, multiple ways you can tune in to the Arrington Gavin Show. I've mentioned earlier, you can watch us on the streaming platforms of YouTube and Rumble. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media, the letter R, Smooth Club Media, and then also the Arrington Gavin Show on Rumble. So those are a couple of ways you can watch us. You can also listen to us wherever you get your podcast, whether that's Apple, iHeart, Spotify, you name it. Multiple ways you can tune into the platform. You can also uh I'm looking at my my dog. I'm looking at him, making sure he's not doing anything he shouldn't be doing. Um, I want to. Also, you can tune into our show via the radio airwaves on our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of the Metro Atlanta area. So hello to all my friends out there and listeners in the Metro Atlanta area that is tuning in from WDJY 99.1 FM. You can also listen online at WDJYFM.com too. Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. We are a weeknight program. We're bringing to you all the good conversations, all the good, opinions on some talked about discussions that has to be shared within the circle, within the families, within the groups of friends, and just everywhere, right? We share it and we talk a lot here on the program. Look, I don't know about y'all. I am having a blast. I'm chilling. I'm having a great time. My wife and I, we just left some gatherings, some parties, because New Year's Eve is one of my all-time favorite holidays. It might have to even be bigger than Christmas for me. I love Christmas, don't get me wrong. I love it, love it, love it. But New Year's Eve is just it's something special about the New Year's. I think it's just the whole starting fresh, having another chance to, kick off the year with some new goals and actually just saying, hey, I completed another year. So it's something, and then it's the holiday to party. I love to party, y'all. You hear what I'm saying? I love I gotta work on that sound bite. That yay, it sound very like childish. I need a more grown yay, not no yay. I gotta work on that. Gotta work on that. But seriously though, it's one of my all-time favorite holidays of the year, and I always enjoy it. My wife and I, we always, schedule something where we can, we're definitely going to see the ball drop. I have a lot of folks in the New York area, so watching the ball drop Times Square, that's a big deal for me. So this is actually our first ever New Year's Eve special at the Arrington Gavin show, and so I'm just excited because there's so many new things. So be I'm gonna continue on, but I would like to shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin show, like our friends over at Rugged Evolution Beard Care. For all you men out there with facial hair, mustache, goatees, beards, you name it. Look, you have to keep it well maintained and taken care of. Uh, you have to have a great product line, and I highly recommend Rugged Evolution Beard Care. It's an all natural men's grooming line that offers 17 scented beard balms, beard oils, conditioning shampoo. You name it, they have it all to help enhance your facial hair care needs. Okay. It's been featured in S's magazine, not once but twice. Once on their digital site as well as on their print site. In their 2018 holiday gifts for men, it was acknowledged by the one and only Miss Erica Campbell of the hit radio show Get Up with Erica Campbell, and she's one half of the Grammy Award winning gospel group Mary Mary. So many folks are speaking so highly about it. The list goes on and on. Different publications. I don't have to continue to spread how great Rugged Evolution Beard Care is. So, look, all I have to do is just share with you all, my fellow bearded brothers out there. Look, grab yourself some Rugged Evolution Beard Care products today by going to www.ruggedevo.com. Again, that's www.ruggedevo.com. We want to also thank them for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin show. All right, look, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our fun fact of the day, our last fun fact for 2024, y'all. Our last fun fact for 2024, and then we're going to get it going with some of the most talked about stories of 2024. So don't go anywhere, my friends. You are listening to a special edition of the Arrington Gavin show. It's New Year's Eve, baby. We'll be right back.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is happening, my friends? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. New Year's Eve edition, baby. It is New Year's Eve night. So I hope you all are safe and sound out there. If you're driving, having fun, please, please, please be careful out there, my friends. Be careful, be careful, be careful. But look, we have to do another fun fact. This is our last fun fact for 2024. The year 2024. Wow. Can't believe it. All right. Today's fun fact is, did you know that there has never been a verified snow leopard attack on a human being? Did you know? Did you know that? That's actually a great thing. Okay, so no one tried to end the streak, please. Let's keep that streak going. I don't want to hear about any human attacks from snow leopards. All right, I don't even know what I think I have a mindset of what a snow leopard is. It's in the big cat family, if I'm not mistaken, and it is intimidating, and it will do some damage if it gets its hand on you. So I'm glad that there's never been a human attack. So hurrah for that. All right, let's get it going. We're talking all things wrapping up 2024. Let's start it off with some of the most talked about stories. First things first, I got to talk about uh, uh, one story that I think really had everybody on their seats, on the edge of their seats. And I'm talking about the interview heard around the world. Oh, that's right. I'm talking about comedian Cat Williams' interview with NFL Hall of Famer and sports analyst Shannon Sharp on Shannon Sharp's hit podcast Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay at the time was already a growing popular podcast. It was hosted by Shannon Sharp. At the time when he started, he was still a co-host the on the sports debate show called Undisputed that was on Fox Sports 1. Not it was not I will say neck and neck with First Take. Their numbers was not as big as First Take, but it was a good alternative if you were tired of First Take and you wanted something new and fresh. Look, go follow Skip Bayless over at FS1 and check out the show he had with Shannon Sharp. It was good. It was intense. It was it was a West Coast show. It was on a whole nother network. It was dope. And then you started to see debate started to get really, really personal and not just involved in sports, but I feel like it was just getting very, very personal. Um, you started to see long absences from Shannon Sharp, and then from there he said, "Look, after 7 years, um, I will be leaving the show." And it was like, "Oh wow, so what's going to happen next with Skip Bayless? Who will be a good replacement for Shannon Sharp?" Because really, you would have thought that it would have been not easy, but they could have found out of all the athletes, especially that are say very passionate about sports. You would have thought Skip would have found um another co-host, again, not with the trajectory, not with the career like Shannon Sharp, but just somebody that can replace him and they can continue to extend the show First Take. Since then, First Take has flopped. Not First Take, Undisputed had flopped, and Skip tried to rebrand it. He even brought in not one, not two, but three, possibly even four new co-hosts. He brought in Paul Pierce. He brought in Keyshawn Johnson, NFL not Hall of Famer, huh? NFL Super Bowl winning wideout Keyshawn Johnson, who had a long career in the sports world as an analyst, as a commentator, because he was had a long career with ESPN. He left ESPN, ended up going to FS1. Same for Michael Irving, Hall of Fame wide receiver, 3-time Super Bowl champ. He brought Michael Irving. He also brought Richard Sherman, which I thought was going to be a good one because Richard Sherman and Stephen A. It's not Stephen A. Skip Bayless had a history of some popular clips when it was like getting really intense, and the back and forth between a sports journalist and the athlete. They have some memorable moments of those two going at it. Um, so I say all that to say, uh, Shannon Sharp, his media career was growing. So that being said, Shannon, when he left Undisputed, he took his podcast Club Shay Shay. He ended up signing it with Colin Cowherd's what is oh man, I'm forgetting the name, but it has like the logo of the V. Oh my goodness gracious. Mm, it'll slip my mind. It'll come back to me later on, but but he ended up joining his podcast network and having Club Shay Shay, and he even started a show called Nightcap along with former NFL star Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, who's one of the OGs from a hit podcast called um I Am Athlete. And so it was a great adjustment. I say all that to say Shannon Sharp's podcast started to bring in some big key, popular stars in the world of sports, music, entrepreneurship, entertainment, comedy, you name it. He had it all. He had everyone there. Social media influencers, you name it. He then had on Cat Williams, and I'm like, oh snap, yeah, that's pretty cool. Wonder what's Cat gonna talk about. Nobody told anybody that Cat was gonna be the guy that just tells it all, like tells it all. He goes after almost every single damn comedian out there. He spoke junk about telling all about Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Faison Love, um, oh my god, Kevin Hart, I believe Tiffany Haddish. I think you want to say something about Tiffany Haddish. He was just going after everybody, and I'm just like, for me, stuff like that is just, it rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a fan of the whole gossiping about somebody that that y'all might have been in the same rooms, and you just like, telling on, and then you act like, oh, everybody need to believe what he's saying, and just, oh, I'm telling the truth. I'm here to tell the truth. Everybody just happens to just go straight to Cat. Everybody goes to Cat for all the answers, and he has all the answers. Like, give me a break. What Cat, in my opinion, was doing was clickbait. What he was doing is, keeping his name out there and trajectory and kind of rebrand. I won't say rebranding, but he was just keeping that name out there. I mean, he tours on a regular. He stays touring. He never stops touring. He headlines his own shows. That he does. He is one of the greats in the world of comedy. That he is. But this right here was very reality TV starish, in my opinion. It was. It was. But it had a lot of folks saying that, wow, you started looking at Cedric funny. You started looking at Steve Harvey funny. You started looking at Ricky Smiley. All these comedians that he said, a lot of folks, a lot of people tend to believe Cat Williams more because they look at him as more relatable. Me, I'm a skeptic. I'm 50-50. I'm like, I'm not saying what he has put out on this podcast is all false. It could be, somewhat truthful. It's true that comedians do take other comedians' jokes. That is true. That is a fact. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but that was something that was the most talked about thing to at least start off the 2024 year. Comedians were going up there talking about Cat, saying, man, Cat went after everybody. I'm glad he ain't say me, man. I'm so glad he ain't say nothing about me. So that mean I'm cool. Like, it was the start of a new joke. So that was one thing, and I wish I had I want to see if I had a pass. Do I have an old soundbite of any of that interview? I wanted to try and find it if I could, but it was so long ago. But you know what though? As much dirt, and it, like I said, what Cat Williams was saying could have been all lies, but I will say it helped out Shannon Sharp expeditiously. I don't know if that's a real word, but that was my T.I. impersonation. Um, that interview really grew. It was record numbers for Shannon Sharp in regards to viewership numbers in one podcast. He won awards for it. He made a crap ton of money off of it. I mean, look, the world loves controversy. The world loves drama. The world loves beef. That is all. What that is what pop culture, entertainment, all that stuff, entertainment gossip. That's what they love. That's their bread and butter. Um, but that right there, it Shannon Sharp made a lot of money off that interview. Now the hard part is, could he have maintained that height? Could he maintain it? And in my opinion, no. He still is very popular. He has over, well over 1 million followers. Might have like 3 million, something like that. He has a huge amount of subscribers on his YouTube channel. Um, Shoot, really, they've even said the podcast Nightcap is actually starting to be more somewhat popular than the Club Shay Shay. Um, but it was so hard to try and keep that momentum from Cat Williams. You would literally have Cat Williams regularly in order to um to keep those numbers up. Now, me personally, I don't think that even if he has Cat Williams on one or two more times, I don't think it'll be the same as the initial interview that he had. But I will say that Shannon, it was hard to, Shannon had to do an adjustment on that show, because at the time it was just a sit down podcast, one on one talk with entertainers, not really to gaslight and to go ham with folks, but it was just to like talk more about your careers, the beginnings, the middle, the end, and what are you doing now? What do you have going forward? All that stuff. That's the kind of sit down interview it was, and podcast it was supposed to be, and that's how he been doing with his guests. But see, it was Cat Williams, and then you bring on Monique. Oh, great. And then you bring on you're bringing on folks to like respond to the Cat Williams and allegations and things of that nature. So it was a bit it was all right, but I'll just say that it definitely had to adjust the forward thinking of the Club Shay Shay podcast. But I mean, he's since then he's had some great interviews. I mean, there's guests that I'm big fans of. He's had Kiki Palmer up there. He's had great show with Terry Crews. He's had a great episode with Miss Pat, the comedian Miss Pat. I mean, they really start sharing their stories, and I'm like, okay, that's inspiring. That's what I like to, more like it. I like to see. So that was happening. I'm still trying to see if I can find. Yeah, I don't here's some more just gaslighting right here. Let me go ahead and play this for you, cuz this was Cat Williams at, looks like, some award show, and he discusses like his, I guess, his farmland living. And so let me know if you let me see if we get, okay, we got it going right here. So again, I mentioned about the gaslighting. So here's how when Cat was saying about his animals and stuff that he had on his land.
Have a pot-bellied pig named Fat Faison, who is like just a real joy to be around. And the goats they're all named after famous people. Jay-Z and Fat Faison have a pot-bellied pig.
So he had a pot-bellied pig named Fat Faison. Not just not Faison. He could have just said Faison. He said a pot-bellied pig named Fat Faison. Again, Cat is petty about that, man. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's funny. It really is funny. I mean, I think in that interview he called like Cedric Entertainer like a walrus or something. Cat is hilarious. He's hilarious, but yeah, Cat he's an interesting fellow. That's all I want to say. He's an interesting fellow. Um, yeah, it was rough. It was rough, man. Now Monique, hers was good as well. I mean, it was interesting, but that was one of the most talked about stories I know for sure in 2024 to start it off. Let me see another one here. Um, the Kendrick and Drake beef. Whew, that was intense. Um, I've always see I don't really follow hip hop like that. So I was a little, and I wasn't late, but I was just kind of confused on where did this beef start, because you start hearing Kendrick uh putting out music where people weren't expecting, and they're like, "Oh, did you hear Kendrick's such and such? Did you hear this and that?" And it's just like, no, and it's basically it's a diss track talking about Drake, and he just kept on diss track after diss track after diss track. I want to say Drake might have responded to one, but it wasn't as successful as Kendrick. And long story short, the Kendrick and Drake beef, Kendrick won by a landslide. He's starting to win even more currently because Drake had since then uh is filing a lawsuit against the music label and possibly even Kendrick. Like, I mean, a lot of folks in hip hop are saying, dude, that is not hip hop. Suing somebody is crazy. That is insane. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know if this has helped Drake's career, if this had what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if this helped his career. I don't know if this had boosted his career. I don't know. Last time I saw Drake the Man, it looks like he was wearing his hair like barrettes or something. It was weird. It was a weird. He had a weird style, and it was just like, what are we doing here? What is happening? I'm very confused. Um, Kendrick, in addition to winning in the diss track, he sold out a concert out in the Oakland area where he's from, or excuse me, in the Compton area where he's from, and he continued to uh uh he had so many encore performances on the of they not like us song, and and it was, I mean, it was memorable. It really was. It was memorable. It was the song was a hit. It was one of the most streamed songs on Spotify. I mean, it even led to him uh earning a spot in the Super Bowl halftime show, which is well deserved. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I think he's definitely one of the greatest. He's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's a multi-award winning artist, conscious rapper is where I see him. I feel like he raps a lot on civil rights issues and issues going on in the community, stuff that's more relatable and not just the quote unquote uh you know late night partying and I got holes in different area codes kind of thing. No, he's actually really rapping about serious issues. And so They Not Like Us was a homage to his hometown. The music video was dope. It was just, Kendrick is he's the stuff. um I wish everyone else was very excited for him for that Super Bowl halftime. His selection, being the performer for the halftime show that will be held in New Orleans, Louisiana, raised some eyebrows saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Why didn't you have Little Wayne? He is Louisiana. That's a kick in the face to him." And so many people were just, in the music game was saying how disrespectful. This is awful. This and that. They were trying to not protest, but you can kind of tell on social media they were slightly protesting, um, protesting in order to bring on uh, uh, Little Wayne to perform. And Little Wayne put out a video saying how heartbroken he is, how disrespected he feels, and it's like, wow, I give him my all, and this and that. First of all, the whole conversation, in my opinion, was a bunch of bull, because there is no pattern of halftime performers. Whatever city it's the Super Bowl is held in, they don't ask, okay, who's from here? Who's from here? No, that's not a pattern, sir. That's not. Two, um, like, what were you doing in that current stage? Like, were you did you have new music out? Were you making um you know this amount of listenership and streams like Kendrick was? Were you in the news like Kendrick with the whole Kendrick and Drake beef? Like, you Wayne is a true pioneer in the hip hop industry. He's an icon, but there was nothing new occurring with him besides, yeah, he goes on, on a tour or performs from time to time, but he was not putting out new music. He might have been recording new music, but I ain't never heard no new songs from him, especially new songs that is as popular as They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us is an anthem. It's not even a hit song. That, my friend, song is an anthem. So there was no competition between the two. They're like, oh, we're going Kendrick. That's final. Whatever. Like, it was just the back and forth. And you start to see some folks, excuse me, that you start seeing some folks like Snoop Dogg and others just saying, I think folks need to stop crying about it and just be happy, because it's a win for hip hop. Anytime a hip hop artist performs a halftime show, we all win. And I say that all the time when it comes to business and entrepreneurship and collaborating with other folks is you need to stop being a competitor to folks, and you need to start knowing how we can come together and work together, because at the end of the day, you win in numbers. You win in numbers. So that right there was another uh talked about conversation as well. Let's see here, my friends. Look, we're gonna take a quick breather. We're gonna take a commercial break. Again, you're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. It's a special edition. It's our New Year's Eve episode, my friends. We are almost ending the 2024 year. That's right. So look, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to a special, and I do mean a special episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, on today's show, this is our New Year's Eve special, our New Year's Eve episode. We're getting ready to send y'all off to a great year into the 2025 year. So my friends, look, I'm excited. I don't know about you all, but I'm pumped. I'm always pumped when we all completed another year and we got some more great stuff happening in the next year. So uh again, we're just backtracking some of the most talked about stories of 2024. Um Another story I want to bring up, man, that really had the world really shook. I'm not gonna lie. They had us shook was the first, because there were multiple, the first assassination attempt against or on then former President Donald Trump's life. He was at a rally in Pennsylvania. I'm not familiar on the specific city that he was in Pennsylvania, but he was doing one of his rallies in Pennsylvania because it was campaign season, and this was just days, literally days, maybe 1 or 2 days before the Republican National Convention, and you see Donald Trump talking on the stage, and all of a sudden you hear, bullets, and he's like, he grabs his ear, and then he falls down. He falls down. Not really like a collapse because he's been hit, but he knows that he was great. He was hit, so he's like, okay, let me go down because they're shooting. They're shooting. Um, it really, really shook America because as much as a lot of folks that are not Trump fans like myself, um, at the end of the day, we don't want to wish harm on the man's life. We might not agree with him politically. I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. I don't agree with his character. I'm not a fan of his character, but I don't wish harm on him at all. So the fact of the matter is that a former sitting president life could have been lost. The fact that a bullet grazed his ear, you hear me? Grazed his ear. It could have been it. It could have been it for him. Um that was that really shook up the world because, and I'll just speak for my lifetime. I have never lived through an assassination. Well, I won't say assassination attempt on a president, on a former sitting president, in that capacity. I mean, that's scary. That is scary stuff. I mean, the last time a president was a assassination attempt was that I can remember. I mean, I wasn't even born. Okay, I was not even born. So it's very ill and just very sad that that occurred. The election in general, at the time, it was uh President Joe Biden running for reelection, and he was faced against Donald Trump, which really pissed off a lot of people. Okay, it pissed off a lot of people. Why? Because um President Joe Biden, initially when elected, he said he was going to be a transitional president. He was going to be a one-term guy. I don't know if y'all realize the man old, so no one was expecting him to even think or discuss, oh, I'm going to run for election. No, you're going to be a one and done guy, and then you got to start planning and building up the party and moving forward to see who you can bring next. He didn't do that. He lied. I'll say it because I'm still just frustrated with the whole outcome, really. um it's nothing like I lose sleep over it, but it's the more I always backtrack it, I'm like, wow, what were y'all thinking? So it initially was going to be uh you know Joe Biden, President Donald Trump. Joe Biden's thinking, oh, I got this in the bag. Come on, this is a 34 count convicted felon. He got all these cases. How can you possibly vote for this guy, right? When there you see, old man Joe stuttering, tripping, and falling, and this and that and the other, and just not even. I know he had a speech impediment, but it wasn't even sound like he was stuttering. It was like his mind was not all there, and so they went. They then when they then have their presidential debate, their first debate between two. Joe Biden bombs it. All right, he bombs it and has the Democratic Party shaking in their boots. They're like, "Oh boy, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" Um, Everybody was saying, "Look, we got to backtrack. We got to keep on. We got to find some. We got to find somebody. We got to find somebody." At the time, Joe was really being stubborn. He's like, "I'm not leaving. No, no, I'm gonna continue this fight, and I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. No one's gonna stop me." It was moments where he kept on getting sick, saying he had a cold or having COVID and this and that and the other. And long story short, the truth started coming out, and like, look, the momentum on um Trump's side was climbing. Now, here's the thing. This is how popular Trump was by the Republican Party. They had, I want to say, nine people initially that was running in the primaries, the Republican primaries. You then had your contenders that was at least popular. I'm not going to say had a close chance to win or go against Trump, but you had some contenders like Nikki Haley. I want to say Ron DeSantis. Mm, maybe Vivek. Maybe Vivek Ramaswamy. I could be wrong. Um, but you start seeing them drop their campaigns left and right, because they could not garner delegates, and so Trump did not show up to any of the primary debates. Yet he was still in up here. He was up top. He was number one. You hear me? He was still number one. Um, it turned out that everybody ended up dropping out their campaign. Trump became the go-to guy, and so as far as for Biden looked so bad. People were like, "Oh God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" Um, Biden ended up dropping out of the race, giving he ended up immediately endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris, which really had a lot of people within the Democratic Party irritated, because they're like, hey, look, we did not have a we did not have a we did not have a primary. We did not have a proper primary, which they didn't. That's the truth. They didn't. Now, I look at it like this. If the majority said, hey, look, we want her, we're going to push her out there, let's do it, come on, let's just, we're trying to avoid having another Trump administration, another Trump term. They could not get their ish together. They being the Democratic Party. You had the Israel Hamas debate that separated the party. You had the folks that were not all in for Kamala Harris. It was a lot. It was a lot. The part that I was even more frustrated with Joe Biden, the fact that he literally gave Kamala Harris 100 days to run a presidential campaign. People are frustrated with the current administration due to the economy. Grocery prices are high. It's hard to keep food on the table. It's prices, gas prices, the whole nine yards. Like, and on top of that, you have the border issue. People are frustrated seeing illegal immigrants coming in on a regular, and there's a lot of crime occurring from illegal immigrant. Like, it was just, they were all tying so much stuff together, and they were like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So you left all that baggage for her. She's a woman of color, and she has 100 days. What were you thinking, right? What were you thinking? There was no primary. What were you thinking? Now, before that, I mentioned about the assassination attempt on Trump's life. Now, the assassination attempt, and I wish I had I know it has to be somewhere in here if I can find it. There was an image of Donald Trump getting up after having a bullet graze his ear. He gets up, he raised his fist, and he says, fight, 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 blood streaking down his face. When it was him and Joe Biden, to me, that was the icing on the cake right there. That right there was a nail on the casket that said, this man will win and become the next president of the United States. If it's just going to be between him and Joe Biden, because the momentum was all for him. This man just survived a gunshot. He had the RNC 2 days after that. People at the RNC had all the little ear patches and stuff. I mean, it became a fashion statement in the MAGA movement. And so that was that right there. So you got the assassination attempts. He ended up having like 2 more brought against his life. So like during his speeches, his rallies, he ended up having like a glass tent around his podium when he speaks. So that was that. I can't find the freaking it's very, very far in my archives of stuff, but Let me see. Do I have it right here? Nope. Thought I was getting close, folks. But so that was one thing. Assassination attempt. The presidential uh presidential election between then Kamala Harris, who could have been the first ever woman president. It was done in Mexico, it was done in other countries as far as female leaders, but it couldn't be done here in the United States. Donald Trump ended up beating the brakes off of Kamala Harris and the Democrats. The Republican parties end up winning by a landslide on a national level. They won the Senate, they won the House. President Donald Trump won it by huge numbers. A lot of people were shocked because they're like, okay, you know, men, why, especially Latino men, like why are you pushing, the nail, especially in women, white women all relied on Donald Trump. Democratic Party thought they could win with the women's reproductive rights. Seems like they were wrong. They could not. So that was a huge turning events that occurred in the year 2024. Also, the rise of the social media star hot known as the Hot Tua girl. All right, I don't know her name. All I know is that that's what she became known for. A person interviewed her on the streets, and she was just a young lady with some friends getting turned, and the guy with a mic started interviewing them, asking them questions, and she's like, she ended up saying hot Tua, which is a sexual thing that she was describing. I ain't gonna go into major details, but long story short, she became a viral sensation. It gained her so many followers. It gained her multi-million dollar deals, fame. She now has a hit podcast that was literally in the top 5 or top 3 podcasts in the United States, which blows my freaking mind. So she really came from rags to riches. 15 minutes of fame turned into a lifetime. I don't know how long it will continue to last, but hey, look at folks from like Jersey Shore and those reality shows. Like they've garnered so much, and they've still have successful. So kudos to them. So you got the Haktua girl. You also have let's see. Oh, also with Shannon Sharp. Now I mentioned the Cat Williams interview, but Shannon Sharp continued to grow his career because Shannon, who is more of an Android fan, now that we are aware, he made headlines because they were like, "Yo, your phone is on live now," and he did not know. Then you started hearing, some moaning and groaning, if you know what I mean. Wow, 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 wow. Uh, about chicken, wow, wow. Okay. Uh, he started hearing moaning in the background, and everybody was trying to like, "Yo, oh, your phone, what is going on?" Long story short, Uncle Shannon was tearing it up. He was showing you age is just a number. All right, he was busy bragging saying he got a hit replacement. That man was 10. He was 10 and ass up, boy. Let me tell you something. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. Shannon man was having a ball. But the funny thing is that he did not know that his phone was on Instagram Live, where the world heard Shannon Sharp enjoy himself. He was very active. Okay, he was very active. The funny thing is, Shannon looked like he needed some oxygen. Well, it sounded like, I won't say looked like, but it sounded like he needed some oxygen. You heard a lot of oh, that was definitely a memorable moment in 2024. Of course, comedians that he sat down with on his show has been teasing him, and they end up doing like a roast on a nightcap. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Um, Moving on to another story that is extremely I wouldn't say it's a great one, but it is a true fall from grace. It's extremely sad if you are fans of this person. But Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul, entrepreneur, rapper, Sean Diddy Combs once had a net worth of, I'm gonna say, almost 600, maybe $700 million, huge success, uh, was arrested on multiple counts of sexual assault, sex trafficking. Um, it was intense. It was intense. It first started with allegations from his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who's also a former singer, was suing him for domestic abuse, and it was sex. It might I know it was domestic abuse, and it was something else, and it was immediately that she was paid, and it was handled in a settlement out of court. And everybody's like, wow, that was very quick. That was very quick. Then now we already saw, like, I think pictures of Cassie's bruises and things like that. So that was before the video. When we saw the video, y'all, it was awful. It was so bad. And I mean, Diddy looked, I mean, not looked, but that video showed a monster chasing a young lady who's trying to uh uh um escape from an abuser. And yeah, that right there was when all hell broke loose. You since went on to see so many allegations being brought against Diddy. The FBI had raided two of his homes, one in Miami, and I believe the other one was in California, if I'm not mistaken. Um, it was sad because you even saw his kids. They had put them in cuffs, face down on the ground. Like, it was insane. But guess what? No Diddy to be found. Apparently, they found him at an airport, and he was brought into custody. He has since then has been he has turned himself in. He's been in jail waiting trial for a minute. Um, there's more and more. I mean, there's multiple people. Even people that you don't know about, and people in the public eye. That is saying, hey, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did that. Then they end up finding it was a video showing where the police said, or FBI, oh, there's a room with 1,000 bottles, big bottles of baby oil, gallon size baby oil. What the what? What the what? All right. It did not make any sense, y'all. It did make sense, but it's just Diddy was always known to having some freak off parties, where they could have been, like it was bad. All I can say, it was bad. So you had a fall from grace from a music mogul. You have Cat Williams starting the year off, telling it all, telling everybody's business. You have the presidential election, that was heard around the world, assassination attempt that you didn't see coming. Um, Shannon Sharp not turning off his IG live. Okay, gotta keep note to self: turn your phone off. Just turn it off. Um, Let me see here. Uh, I think while we have looks like we have a little more time left. I would say to end it off, guys, 2024, uh you brought up two successful films that everybody has been talking about since then, in Gladiator 2, which stars the legend, Oscar winner Denzel Washington, as well as the musical film Wicked, which stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. That film has garnered huge numbers. I'm not a musical fan, but I do want to see the film. I'm a huge Cynthia Erivo fan. She has the voice of an angel, and I want to see that film. Now, my wife and I, we've seen Gladiator 2, amazing. Denzel Washington is one of my all-time favorite, uh, all-time favorite um actors, and he is he has said that he was going to um be retiring from acting. So everybody's like, oh no, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? So look, he's gonna be retiring from acting soon, but he still has about 4 or 5 more projects. He's already announced that he will be playing in the third Black Panther film, so that's gonna be dope. I'm very excited about that. And he has some other projects that he wants to play, and I think another Equalizer, like 1 or 2 more Equalizers. So there's a lot more projects that he'll be doing before he retires, because he is in his 70s or early 70s. But he wants to go behind the camera. He wants to direct. And so that will be that's exciting right there. That is exciting right there. The film Gladiator 2, amazing. It was an awesome film. Uh it actually became the highest grossing film for Denzel Washington in his career. Okay, in his career, it was the most money that he has grossed in his career from a film. So that's saying something right there. Um but so much stuff, y'all. So much stuff that has occurred. We're getting really close to ending this show, my friends. One thing I would like to share is that amazing thing that happened to me and in the Arrington Gavin show in the year 2024 is, for one, we brought this podcast to the radio airwaves. I'm talking about to our family over in the Metro Atlanta area, WDJY 99.1 FM. It was this show was a show that I wanted to do just to have conversations with you all, the listeners, the viewers out there, because I feel as though that the world can be handled. We can solve so many of our problems by having a conversation, and that's what the world is missing. It's just a regular conversation. So I end up uh uh uh, uh taking it to presenting this show to to WDJY, and they opened me with open arms, welcome me with open arms, and I'm very thrilled and excited to continue the relationship with them. So be sure to listen to the Arrington Gavin show as you have been since mid of 2024. Be sure to continue to listen in to the Arrington Gavin show Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. That's right, late night, baby. 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM, as well as WDJYFM.com. Also, my friends, another awesome thing that occurred was that we are now an award-winning show. That is right. The Arrington Gavin show recently won Best Podcast at the 2024 Blensville Awards. So, my friends, I still can't believe it. But yes, we did it. We won an award, and we have so much great things coming forth for you. This year, we've interviewed political leaders, we've interviewed presidential candidates, we've interviewed Grammy winners, pro athletes, uh, uh, Emmy winners, you name it. We've interviewed them all, and small business owners. I mean, everyday folks, man, heroes, you name. So we're gonna continue to give you great interviews, great content, just everything to help please you all, the listeners, the viewers out there. So look, my friends, the time has come. The countdown will be starting very soon. So I've poured my little shot shot right here, and I just want to say cheers to you all on a hell of a year. Goodbye 2024 and hello 2025. Look, we have about 60 seconds left, so I'm just gonna already start this. Cheers to you. Ah, yeah, put some hair in your chest. Cheers to you all. Peace and blessings. Have a happy New Year's. I will see you all in 2025. That's right, my friends. Your boy has said goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025. Peace and blessings, y'all. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, drive home safe, and I'll see you in 2025. I'm out.